So recently there was some controversy surrounding a Haitian woman who was on a Black American podcast show. Now, um, basically what happened was a Haitian woman is walking to sit down on the podcast set. Prior to any conversation really being had, somebody casually asks a question that regular everyday people ask when they want to get to know somebody, which is, where are you from? So she responds, I'm Haitian, where are you from? Then without waiting for an answer, she immediately follows up with, you American, you a dirty Black American. And so the key points that I want to highlight are first of all, I don't understand where the offense even occurred. This is regular conversation that people have to break the ice, to get to know a person, to get a person comfortable and things like that. That's regular conversation that people have. If I come in contact with somebody and, I want to get to know them, I'm going to ask the same thing, where are you from? Because, naturally, that's just what we ask. So they never got to respond. They never got to say that they were American or not. They never had the opportunity to tell this woman where they were from at all. Now, the conversation that everybody online is having right now seems to be centered around whether or not she's allowed to speak from her experience. Some people are saying that's just been her experience with Black Americans. Others are saying maybe she's had bad interactions. But that's actually not the issue here, because nobody asked her about her experience, because nobody actually got the opportunity to. So my question becomes, why did a identity question trigger hostility towards an entire ethnic group in the first place? Because again, nobody said anything to her. Nobody challenged her. Nobody insulted Haiti. She was asked a baseline social question that we all ask in literally every introductory conversation. And that's the problem that I have, that her response had nothing to do with her experience. She literally had a preloaded perception and was waiting for the opportunity to express that. And her offense on being asked, where are you from, prompted her to respond and attack a whole group of people that never attacked her. And again, sis, I'm lost, because how did we get from curiosity in an introductory conversation to condemnation in less than 5 seconds? It's like, damn, the chair didn't even have a chance to get comfortable and good and warm with her ass sitting in it before she started insulting people. When people speak from experience, they usually do so in response to a conversation. They don't enter a room and immediately apply said experience to strangers they have never interacted with yet. Because again, she doesn't know if any of those people that she sat down on that couch with was American. She just made that assumption because she was asked a simple question, which is, where are you from? And even when she was asked by the podcast host, what made you say that? Why would you even fix your lips to say something like that? Her response was, because that's what you are. You're a dirty Black American. This just further plays into the bigger issue and the broader dynamic of this situation, of there being long-standing narratives in some immigrant communities that encourage people to differentiate themselves from Black Americans and emphasize national origin over shared racial identity. So you get things like, we're not like them, we work harder, we value education, we're cleaner, we have culture, they don't, us good, them not, type bullshit. I also like to iterate that she never directly apologized. She literally framed the man's reaction as excessive by acting surprised that he was really checking her for the things that were coming out of her mouth. It was all of a sudden, oh my gosh, you're really offended by that. I'm so sorry. And he's like, well, who wouldn't be offended by that? You know what I'm saying? Because she never actually has to address her own behavior if she gets to paint the image like the other person's reaction was excessive. And when she did apologize in that moment, it was directed towards the individual who challenged her, not the entire group of people she insulted without provocation. And she's playing mind games, you know what I'm saying? Which essentially just shifts the focus away from what was said, and it plummets it onto whether or not the person's emotional reaction is valid. So now the conversation becomes, why are you so upset? Instead of, why did I say something offensive? So all of this deflecting and mental gymnastics that she wants to play and do because she's framing the other person's reaction as excessive so she doesn't have to address her own behavior. And once again, when she did apologize, it was only towards the person that challenged her actions and her words. And what's even more telling is what happened after the clip went viral. Her Instagram has been privated. She hasn't issued a public apology to the Black American community that she's generalized and insulted for no reason. She didn't turn around and say, that was wrong, I shouldn't have said that. I apologize to the Black Americans that are going to watch this, and more importantly, to the Black Americans that I'm talking about indirectly to, because how dare you come on to a Black American podcast show and disrespecting people right to their face. If they're dirty, why are you there? So truth be told, in this scenario and situation, I don't care whether or not she speaks on her experience. Quite frankly, I don't care about her experience. Because what I want to acknowledge is that nothing happened here that would have warranted offense in the first place. Because this was a response to something that wasn't even said to her. This is something that she already walked into that room believing. That's a mindset that she has, and that's not going to change because of a podcast. So my final thoughts on this, and before I leave, I only have 3 questions, and then I'm ending this video. Why was hostility the default? Why did curiosity feel like confrontation? And why do some people feel the need to create distance and a barrier between themselves and Black Americans before they've even exchanged a name with these people?